I cut a bunch of stock to make the face frame. And now we go into uncharted territory. We build a face frame. And I'm thinking one piece at a time. I got it lying down on its back. And we'll just take our measurements right from it. The upper and so if that's my measurement between the styles, and I'm not putting huge tenons on this. So if I go an inch, that'll give me a 1/2 inch tenon. And our wood goes on this side. That should give us 4-inch drawer. Maybe not the prettiest mortise ever made, but it is indeed a mortise. And let's get the other 3 cut out. Well, I don't know if my 4th one was any better, but it was faster. So, I guess we can try some tenons. Ooh, I think that's going to be all right. Well, it's not perfect. That one's really good. This one is a little bit lower than that one. But barely noticeable. And that one's a little bit lower than this one still. And that one's almost dead on. Oh, 4 more mortise and tenons for the drawer dividers put in. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's going to be a drawer and a panel and a drawer. Not much work, but I'm pleased as punch with it. Not perfect. But my lack of work is due to... Ta-da! Guess who came to visit? It's snowy out. So I'm looking at my cabinet, and what I need is a drawer here and a drawer here, but it's got to slide on something. Now, this side is okay, I can attach it to the side. So I need a piece to go in here to attach the slide to. So I've got some cedar cut-offs, and we'll see if we can get that in. And I believe we can just mortise it into the back and the front rail there. How is it in a shop this small I can lose a bright yellow measuring tape that fast? Where did I put it? So we've got a mortise. Let's get our tenon marked in. bad. All glued up. I've checked corner to corner for square. Give it a bit of a wipe off with a damp rag. Get the squeeze out. And we're going to let that dry. With my face frame clamped in place, glued up so it's the size it's going to stay, I can take my measurement and transfer it to the bottom where I need my other mortise. And now with a mortise cut, we can mark for our tenon. A little bit of and now we have something for our drawer to ride up against. We'll put our hardwood rail here, a spacer here with a hardwood rail for the other side of the drawer to ride on. Remember, you're looking at it upside down here. But yeah, we fit. And there's the second drawer divider in. We're getting close to the end. All I got to do now is put a filler piece in here and on the other side. Not bad, not bad. But slow going. We got all that outside. It's pretty cold in the shop. Well, I gave everything a preliminary sanding. Let's see if we can get this assembly put up. And I'm going to do it in stages, just because of lack of clamps. Everything comes in the house. Too cold outside to glue. And the question is, can we get everything back together in the right order? time and temperature is finally lined up where I can get some finish sanding done on this thing. We'll be finishing it up soon, getting some linseed oil on it. It's funny on video that only a flash happens and it could be days later. A hole from an 18 gauge brad nail. Just a drop of CA glue. Doesn't make it disappear, but makes it a heck of a pile better. This is the part where the magic happens. We've got a kick panel, a toe kick put on that I forgot, and it's linseed oiled, and you come up here, we've got maple drawer slides put in, and all I did was take a gauge block and just gauged it off of the top rail here on the front and on the back. So this one, long grain to long grain. This one, long grain to long grain. I just glued that one in. But on the outside of them, I have the face frame to contend with. So what I did is I've milled up a piece to take up that little bit of space and glued the maple runner to that. And then because it's cross grain here, I've attached it with some small brass screws. And they're in oversized holes, so that gives everything room to expand and contract. So now that I've got drawer slides, the kick panel is, or the cabinet is basically complete. Doors, drawers, and a panel in here, and she'll be done. But right now it's ready for polyurethane, so we're gonna start getting the poly on it. Not a lot of room and bad lighting, but I figured I'd pass on a tip. And I've learned and seen and read and watched water-based polyurethane to get a nice coat of it is not to mess with it very much. Dip your brush in, a couple of strokes, and that's it. Don't mess with it. Go to your next section. Seems the more you fart around with it, the more trouble you get in. Now you might have to tip it out every now and then to stop a drip or whatever. But it seems that the least you work it, the better it is. Now this is the first coat going on. And it is satin, so it's going to dry a lot flatter. But you dip, stroke, stroke, dip. You notice I start in the middle. Stroke, stroke, dip, stroke, stroke. Ooh, that splashed. That should give you a decent coverage. Might have a little bit extra on there. So I'll come back and tip it out. And my cabinet's upside down here too. Much in the corner there. And I'm getting to the point where I'm bothering it too much. But that's it. Done. I suppose now is the time that we find out why I wasn't too worried about using a piece of ugly looking pressure treated plywood for the bottom of the cabinet. So if you go into just about any store that sells and installs vinyl flooring, you'll find that they have all kinds of cutoffs. And all those cutoffs go back to the shop and they go into a bin and they have to pay for somebody to dispose of them. Which means that for small areas you can pick yourself up pieces of really nice vinyl flooring for nothing. Free. Originally I had planned to put this in with contact cement, but my contact cement went funny because I haven't used it in a long time. So I'm using acoustical sealant, which never really dries. So if this does get damaged and have to come out, we can do that. But as you can see, for the inside of a cabinet, especially in a bathroom, but it could apply for a kitchen cabinet under a sink or whatever, I have a surface that looks good, is durable, and is impermeable to water. How good does that look for the inside of a cabinet for free? thought it was a pretty good solution. Functional. And now I know how big that last piece of trim has to be. Wainscoting. The doors and the drawers will wait. Getting too cold in the shop right now. I can pick away at them on warm days, but we're in business at least. So there it is in place. I've got the old mirror just stuck up there for a while. It's going to be reframed and turned horizontally. So that's an upcoming project. And one could reasonably ask, why do you hand cut joinery on the face frame and dividers and that? And the simple answer is, because I enjoy it. So someday I'll get around to doors and drawers on it, but for now, it's functional. That's the main goal.